Hello, everybody, and welcome to the But I'll Take a Pinot Grigio Mega Mini Crossover Special Edition.
Mm-hmm.
I am Jeff Brantley, our resident culinary and hospitality expert for this podcast. With me are some lovely friends of mine. You know, Sundi, who also has the biz and can speak more to her own expertise, and intro our special guest.
Yeah, so as promised, we have a fun surprise. Hold that thought. But I am Sundi, the pop culture professor, self-proclaimed expert on all things pop culture, real heavy on the self-proclaimed. We have some crossover. So you guys know Emilie, of course, from our In the City and our Summer House, which y'all
and
go
Ladies
back.
of London.
Oh, and Ladies of London. That's true. So y'all go back and listen. There is plenty of juice to be consumed there. But we've got the whole family together, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her situation. For those of you who have never met her, here you go.
I'm Emilie, former New York City fashion girl / turned socialite / turned psychologist.
That's right. She gives us all the goods. I can't diagnose folks when Emilie is here because she's like the real deal. So.
I bet you can.
Well, I mean, yeah, I can. Obviously, I can.
You definitely can.
Yeah.
And I would be happy to dissect your diagnoses.
Yeah. And I continue to do so. But really,
and thanks for having me on the mega mini. What are we calling this?
We'll see when it comes out.
That's right. We'll see. We are experimenting a little bit because Last Chance Kitchen has left us, which I have seen some disgruntled Top Chef fans being real mad, specifically because Anthony did not get a chance to return. Hold that thought. Put a pin in it. Mm-hmm. But the business is Top Chef. We're down to the top 5. We're going to talk about that in a second. That's Monday night. Our Summer House and In the City crossovers are dropping either late Tuesday or early Wednesday morning. So go there. There's a lot happening there. And of course, as always, Vintage VPR is Wednesday and Fridays. And while you're listening right now, just pop in, give us a review, write us a little sweet message, like us, follow us, all that kind of stuff. It helps us get seen in the algorithm. And find us on social media at Take a Pinot. Wherever you are, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. So now we are going to depart from our Last Chance Kitchen. And so we are still going to do a little bit what you know, but we're getting into it.
We'll open with our Top Chef first and then kind of veer off. We just had our cook challenge we'll tell you about.
Let's tell spoilers. If you are not a regular Top Chef and you have not seen up to this week, this will contain spoilers. We're about to tell you who the top 5 is. So gird your loins, make decisions accordingly because you're about to hear the latest on Top Chef.
And about our cook challenge. We had our, from a couple weeks ago, Sundi had the choice of our Restaurant Wars episode. Between the 2 restaurants, she picked Carolina Queen.
Which was Dwin's.
Yes, mainly Dwin's.
Yes, because R.I.P.
Ready to pull up.
Right.
That's
ready to pull up.
And also our North Carolina pick of the week ingredient was sweet potato.
Sweet potatoes.
And so we just had you want to tell us about the fabulous dish?
It was fabulous.
Yes,
by the way.
Emilie joined us for the cook challenge. So we're going to have family dinner on Thursdays now, and it was scallops. And go to social media, maybe not today, but maybe tomorrow, to see the whole thing. But scallops and a sweet potato fluff. What do you call it?
Puree.
Yeah. There we go. It had my new favorite thing is oyster mushrooms. That shit was good. And so Jeff is really firing on. This is 5.5.
Asparagus and radishes. There was a little mint and a little citrus.
All of that.
Sundi is not giving us the full description. It was fabulous.
I
would order that in a restaurant every day of the week.
It was good. It was very sweet potato forward.
Mm-hmm.
She is competing. I'm seeing this now. There are other Bravo shows to talk about while Top Chef, so I can see it lowering, getting kicked down the totem pole just a little bit.
I'm present. But let's talk about our top 5.
Let's do it.
Okay. There's been some bitter losses this week. So
it gets tough when it gets down to the last 6 or 7. It gets real tough.
Anthony went home this week. And
No, that's one of the twins, right?
No, the bad
Which one
twin.
was Anthony?
Bad twin is the super nerdy,
sweet Anthony.
Yeah, the super nerdy black guy who plays.
Yeah.
Warhammer. That's right.
He and
Sorry,
Lawrence
so
play
Top
Warhammer
Chef
together.
confuses me because there's so many people. I can't keep track of their names.
Yeah, now it's easy.
Yeah.
There's 5 people.
Yeah.
It's great.
Okay.
You get to watch them all. Actually, you get to see the whole dish come together. Yeah.
But what is the most sort of bitter thing is I've had Anthony in my seated like almost every single week. Like he's been in my top.
Yeah.
And
same.
that is, I feel personally offended by that.
Well, I mean, it didn't go great. It's just one bad dish can send you home at this point.
I know. And I know that everybody rolls their eyes when I mention Drag Race and Project Runway, but there is a cumulative variable in those. And I think Anthony really lived up to it. I mean, listen, I'm not going to go too hard. We still have 2 women, so 2 of the 5
what's the variable?
So,
what's the crossover between those 3 shows?
Only because they are Yeah, they're a Bravo competition show, and it's like, in an artistic craft.
Oh,
but like, if on Project Runway, if you put a really bad,
I thought maybe Anthony did drag on the side, and I was like, did I not know this?
God, I'd watch that.
Was
show.
there like some background to these?
I would watch
chefs
the shit out of that show.
Yeah,
but no,
he's really got to come out of his shell. Maybe that's the way he does it.
Yeah, so maybe that's the crossover that we need in our life. Anthony,
I need that. I
for
sure need that.
Put up your Warhammer. And
that's right.
A Drag Race Top Chef crossover. I would be front row every week.
First off, those poor Drag Race.
I'm probably going to take things off the rails.
Yeah,
being here
that's okay.
No. Very loose.
That's why it's the mega mini. But those Top Chef contestants would not stand a chance in the Drag Race workroom. They would be crying because everybody gets along on Top Chef. They're all helping each other. They're buying each other's things. Their budget's over. Drag Race are slitting each other's throats.
You think they got to where they are in kitchens because they're always nice to each other?
I'm just saying, in the world of reality TV shows, Top Chef is not
that smoke from Drag Race. You think any of them want it?
Hell no.
I don't think so.
No, I agree with Sundi though. Like of all the reality shows ever that I've watched, this is the most nicest, supportive group of people.
When she was getting fired up for it, I can't wait to see
I've
them
never really
snatching
been
stuff and doing stuff to each other. And I was
yeah.
or when our Vanderpump gang was arguing, and I'm like, why does this have to happen? Why are they so disagreeing? She's like, can you imagine a show where they weren't disagreeing? That would be horrible. I was like, we're about to watch one.
Yes,
absolutely. I'm new to Top Chef, and so this has actually been surprising for me to watch it this season. That they are so nice and helpful and supportive. And
and especially this crew.
Yeah.
This gang of folks.
I got my hopes up a little bit when the bad twin was needling Sherry a little bit. Yeah. And she was just like, ugh, leave me alone.
Oh, Garny Poo?
Yeah, Garny Poo, Jeff's new nickname. But that was the extent of it. There was no fighting. They were not talking bad about each other behind their backs. It was, but I do have some hot guys, though. I scoured the internet looking for things.
Can't wait.
Mostly things that validate my own opinions. So
did you find this on your own Substack?
I did. I went to my own blog.
Yeah.
No, I went to Reddit. First and foremost,
such a reliable source of information.
Well, we don't need reliable right now. We just need juicy. I saw several folks kind of getting mad about the chefs tasting things and then putting the spoon back.
Are you serious? They're still doing that?
I mean, I'm just saying.
People are still upset about it?
I don't know. Make your case. Because I don't want that. I don't want your cooties in my food that I'm eating.
I mean, they're
basically family at this point.
Degrees, and they're cooking with stuff that's so hot. It's not really. Okay. It's such a minor chance that they're getting something from that.
Okay.
Also, these people have been living in the same room for the last couple months.
That's what I'm saying. So. I mean, when you're cooking when you're cooking for your family, you don't ever use the same spoon to taste something.
And they do put those
stir
in, like a Bain Marie that's in water, and they'll change out the water. So it's not like
okay.
They
I was giving you a chance to make your case. Yeah. Case made. I also would like to reinforce my hatred of Seeger.
I knew it. Exactly where I thought that.
Now, I agree.
I was like,
that.
I wonder where she's got drawn. Oh, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
I bet I know.
A lot of people also hate Seeger. I pulled some direct quotes. You ready?
Yeah.
People have, quote, deep annoyance with Seeger. They find him, quote, unlikable.
Hmm.
They find him sarcastic and sassy.
Okay.
Wait, who does that sound like?
I
don't know
mean,
anyone.
How many of
Hold on.
those adjectives you just mentioned have to do with food?
Well, I'm watching a reality TV show, so
No, I'm
sir,
asking. I know I'm asking a question. How many of those had to do
Well,
with how a food?
none, but you've
how
got to
the
be
plate
watchable.
tastes? It's not top TV star. It's Top Chef.
Sir, this is where you and I diverge a little bit here too, because listen, where these folks are honing their craft, I need a little bit of, playing up. Rhoda, for instance. Rhoda knows exactly what she's doing. Dwayne knew exactly what she was doing. She's like giving it to the camera. She's serving, not Seeger with his dumb nose ring.
She did serve undercooked fish, though. And
Well,
he did serve dry rabbit.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I mean,
not
I
good.
won't make excuses for them, but I'm just saying the thesis of this is I'm not alone. I am not
Oh,
alone.
absolutely not. What's my nickname for Seeger lately? It's Sourpuss.
Oh, yes, he does have a sour
So
puss.
obviously, I am in that category. Yeah,
To me,
he's
he
tougher to
just
watch.
seemed
but
a
it's all
little
about-
conceited or like.
absolutely,
Above it all.
which is exactly what you're
Yeah.
wanting from these people to cause a bunch of
But
drama also.
I mean,
so
and
what is your want?
you excluded, okay, because you are also a chef, but like I feel like some chefs do have a little bit of like that conceited, but I think you kind of have to run a restaurant.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
do have
like
to.
I think that you kind of need that little
Right.
bit of like, yeah, I'm the best.
Bring that to the TV. Like, duke it out. Have words. Scream at each other. That's what makes good TV.
No. Where did screaming come from?
I added that. I added that, but I'm just saying. Also, to also confirm some of my ideas about the last one, other people are really thinking Gail's preoccupation with the size of the croquet is weird. Just eat it. Girl, just use a knife. Just use a knife.
I think they have to say, they have to describe it. So if she was having trouble with it, that is her read on it. So, I mean, that's her honest review.
Mhm.
I mean, it was a croquet lollipop, and she was like,
Mhm.
oh, it's too big. It's got too much meat. Like, I mean, come on, use a knife. And I'm just saying, I'm not alone.
Okay, but if it's a lollipop, I don't want to use a knife.
But if you
like,
gotta
I want
rank-
to like
Well-
you should be able to pick that up and take the bite.
That
They're-
was Gail's beef.
They're in the ranking business. They got to rank this stuff. You can't just have them all be number one. I mean,
They
you
have to
gotta
what?
say-
This stuff
Rank.
They're in the ranking business.
ranking.
Ranking
Okay.
business. I will say, I did have to really dig to find any kind of like tension or conflict about it, because I was hoping they were gonna be like, yeah, like so and so, runs a illegal dog fighting ring. Not the case. Everyone
That's
is
what you were hoping to find out.
no,
Really?
as an example.
That's what you were hoping to find.
I'm just saying, I was hoping that there would be some feuding. I'm so ensconced in
Yeah.
the summer house and
Yeah.
in the city. I was hoping that if I just
That's
dug
what this
enough.
should be. This is your beach getaway.
This is
on
my beach
Bravo.
getaway.
All the other stuff is filled with, people yelling at each other. I mean, saying the worst things possible to each other
Right.
in some of our vintage BPR.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
true. This is
very
like
rough.
a good palate
Watch
cleanser.
Top Chef and just chill out,
So,
man. Enjoy
you're-
your 75 minutes.
You're talking to a woman who puts on Real Housewives of Rhode Island to go to sleep when they're screaming at each other, you slop pig, your husband. I have a video of your husband fucking his mistress. So like, this is the woman you're talking to.
Well, that's a whole different pathology that we need to
Yeah.
unpack at
Yeah.
another
I
time.
mean, I need it.
Also, it's a little late in the season to be pointing out your issues with the show. Like we're in the
Well,
home stretch right here.
No issues. I'm just saying, outside of the bubble, this is what I found too. So that
So
is
that's
quite
the drama?
So
Yes, that was it.
I can't
That's
wait.
it.
So AKA
That's it.
Sunday seeks out confirmation bias on the internet.
Yeah, exactly. So that was it. I really wish I could have found something more. I didn't. So let's just move on to our recommendations.
Take us
then.
through your top 5.
So Cherry and Rhoda are tied right now. I can't tell. I'm always going.
Now we're gonna get to tension. You're gonna be giving me ties.
Well, I'm going to root for the woman, and it is really hard. Rhoda had the yips last week, and Sherry kind of had a little tantrum. So I don't know. And then Bad Twin is last.
Yeah,
Seeger is second to last. I'm leaving somebody out.
Lawrence.
Oh, Lawrence is number 1. How about this? Lawrence is number 1. The ladies tied for number 2. Seeger, and then Bad Twin is last. I will never root for Bad Twin.
No, he's been in my weeded.
Annoying.
Or at the
Super annoying.
Yeah.
actually, I think he's been in my defeated. pretty
Yeah.
much the whole time.
The wrong twin went home. I've been
Yeah.
saying this. Although for
He's
a couple
kind
of
of
weeks.
done better since the brothers left.
Yeah.
He's kind of been crushing it more than ever.
I mean, I've been saying this too, but after the other brother went home, I was confused a little bit, but steadfast now. He is the bad twin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You're sure?
Yeah, he's Garny Poo. Garny Poo is the worst.
I got Rhoda up top. I got Sherry right behind her. Lawrence in the middle. Seeger, and I also have Jonathan at the bottom. And we're heading to Asheville this week. Home of hundreds of beautiful restaurants. And so that means we're going to get to cook in the woods.
Yeah, on stumps with the critters and all of that. Because you know what? Fuck you, Asheville. We don't want to showcase your downtown.
Yes.
We don't want to know.
Yes, you spend a ton of money fixing up your downtown. We're going to the national forest.
That's right. We're not even going to spend any time in these beautiful restaurants. We're going to head to the forest floor where you got to dig in the dirt.
We don't have our last chance kitchen, of course. So we're just going to go right to our weekly recommendations. Okay. Emily, since you are our guest, this is where we take a little departure from, what Sunday, of course, has referred to as our trash dummies for most of our Bravo coverage. And just a little something else we have going on, what's coming across our eyeballs, what's making us laugh, what's entertaining us.
Yeah, so I immediately, of course, forgot the name of it. But so I will say thank you. So my recommendation,
not Jeff reminded Emily what her recommendation was.
the ADHD is really kicking in at this point of the day, and I just forgot the name of it. But I will say, so my recommendation for this week, something that I just recently watched that I just found super entertaining, and I think everyone should watch it. I'm going to watch it again, was Life is Short on Netflix. It's a little documentary type movie about Martin Short. Also, I'm so freaking jealous that I didn't, live where he lived as like a young person and into his 20s and 30s, because it was like summer camp at his house was like Steve Martin and Catherine from O'Hara and just Eugene Levy, everyone that you can even possibly imagine being amazing used to all just hang out at his house and play board games and be out in the yard and stuff, and it just looked like the most amazing situation. I was going to ask you,
what was the most surprising thing you learned about Martin Short?
I'm actually 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
Not short.
Unfortunately, last named. But having board games with Steve Martin, Eugene Levy, and Catherine O'Hara feels like.
It was just. It wasn't that it was surprising. It was just very sort of affirmative to hear all these famous people who are very talented and very funny just talk about how incredible a person he is.
Oh, that's good.
Steve Martin makes this comment, and you've probably seen it on some of the previews for this movie, and stuff or whatever. But he's basically if you plan to throw a party and Marty says he can't come on that date, you just change the date of the party. That's how central he was to the friend group and how much everyone just loves him.
So he is an unproblematic short king. That's what I heard.
Yeah. Okay.
Hopefully nothing
trying to
out.
Find some drama. Well, we're going to bring up how unproblematic someone is if there aren't.
In this day and age, unproblematic is the best thing you can be.
Yeah.
Also, short kings. That has a history.
But also
not
interesting.
That's
And just interesting, too, he didn't really start out as being necessarily a comic. He didn't feel that he was that funny. He didn't think that was where his talents lied. And
what was he, a tennis instructor?
Singing. He thought he was going to be he was.
That whole crew she's talking about, they're in the first cast of Godspell. 72 or something. And it is the amount of people that went to SCTV and in movies and Saturday Night Live in music. It is insane the amount of people who are doing their first thing at the same time.
Yeah.
Gilda Radner, the crew you mentioned.
I was just about to say Gilda Radner.
Gilda Radner was my mother's favorite. I have a framed picture of Gilda Radner.
Oh, and he talks about how everyone was in love. I guess everyone was in love with her. You met her and you just fell in love with her.
That feels right.
And just all the amazing people that he not only just worked with, but it seems like they had genuine friendships and relationships for years. And it was just very entertaining and heartwarming.
It's Netflix. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Carla. I think Carla would
thank you.
enjoy it.
Thank you for your first rec. That's awesome.
Initiate it.
Thank you for reminding me the name of it.
I also have a kind of feel-good one.
Which I fully 1,000% support.
Mine's going to take such a hard left, y'all.
That's why you're going last. Here in Columbus, Georgia, a lot of folks have been talking about a book that I am going to recommend because it is a area attorney, judge turned first-time novelist. It came out about a year and a half ago, actually. It's called Theo of Golden. It's by a man named Alan Levi. I just finished it for the second time. It is a real interesting story. It pulls from a lot of real stuff in our downtown area, which is kind of just a neat added bonus for us. But I think not knowing at all about all that stuff, it would still allow you to enjoy this story completely.
Oprah has talked about it. Katie Couric has written him a handwritten letter about it.
He's doing a thing right
He's
now.
been on the New York Times bestsellers list with it.
Yeah, this is, I think, going to be quite a thing for a while. And hopefully we're
on
a
sequel.
Second one.
Yeah, Ellen of Golden is coming out, is what I've heard.
Yeah,
which is or not a sequel, but maybe a spinoff. I don't know.
Feeling a little left out. I have not read it. It's on the TBR.
You've got to read it.
I mean, I'm still, headlong into some memoirs right now, but it's on the TBR. On the TBR.
Well, let us know what's on your recommendations.
I have read some critics say that it was too Christian heavy or something, but I did not find that.
I did not find that. If I really do find that. And I did not at all. I actually held off for a little while. It was on my table for a little while because of that.
Yeah.
Somebody gave it to me and I let it just sit there and finally cracked it open and got into it. And it's amazing. And I have no urge to go reading a work of fiction that heavily invokes the Bible necessarily. And
right.
Had no problem.
I didn't find it overly religious at all. It was just a very heartwarming, feel good, and I think everyone should read it. And also, I've known Alan Levi since I was about 15 or 16 years old.
Yeah.
Do you not remember Sundi? You used to go to Young Life.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to come and play guitar at our Young Life.
I do remember.
Which is like a thing that, high schoolers
How
do.
How far
whatever.
we've come.
And
from
then
Young Life.
Foy and I, my partner, our first date was actually 5 years ago. He did a little concert thing at Sylvan Guitars here in Columbus, Georgia.
Okay.
It was just a little acoustic set that was our first date.
Okay.
So he's always had a special place in my heart. But then this book was amazing.
As soon as I finished reading the story of Lilith, Adam's first wife,
that's definitely that's a great segue into
jump right into Theo Golden. My recommendation is so left. I did not know we were going feel good. Okay.
I did know what you were doing, so I'll let us clear the air for a little bit.
Okay. So me and
your Parents of the Year documentary.
Me and the rest of the internet are watching The Crash. Okay, so
this is good too.
This is the Netflix documentary.
Right.
There's also there's two on Hulu, one on Mean Girl Murders and one of killer cases of the story of Mackenzie Spirilla, in which she ran her Toyota Camry into a building at 100 miles per hour. And the whole idea is, did she do it on purpose? Did she not? And they kind of dive into who she was as a person and what her ideas were about the world. And I had some questions. So the one on Netflix had an interview with her. Tell me what your immediate first impressions of Mackenzie Spirilla was when you saw her.
In the old videos or seeing her now?
No, on the interview they did.
The Crash.
The interview they did on the Netflix show.
Very more put together than we had seen her. Very calculated. A lot of glancing off camera. I'm guessing it's somebody very much choosing her words carefully, which makes sense. I'm not calling her out on that. But as someone who I pretty much only saw in a closet or driving and always with a bong in her hand, it was a very much different. She doesn't have the same access these days, being where she is. Mm-hmm. But I the word calculated for me in my head came up.
For sure, calculated. I also have to say, anyone who does their hair in a bun like she did in that interview, immediate guilty. Okay? I'm sorry.
Call the police.
Okay?
I thought you were going to say she doesn't have the same accent
There's that.
And I was like, oh, that's an interesting thing, because as she moves through the world in different areas of her life, she adopts different things, because they are in Strongsville, which is a very affluent, like, suburb of, was it Cleveland?
Is it Ohio?
Is it Ohio? It was Cleveland.
It's affluent, really?
I think so, yeah. So
I did not get that from these.
Well, I remember I watched all three.
Okay.
I watched 3 different versions. This particular version did not bear down on that one too, but they talk a lot about her social media presence and how that kind of constructed her view of the world. Now,
she was posting TikToks like daily.
Yes.
Apparently, is what I heard.
She perceived that she was going to be a social media influencer.
Well, I also think, too, that her parents did nothing to, like, actually dissuade her of or like, teach her about reality. You know, about how the world actually works.
Well,
like,
that was another thing, too. So
I feel like they were very...
hands off.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, hands off, but also just, like, you know...
Do your own thing. Like,
yeah, just accommodating and, like...
They made a lot of excuses for her.
Yeah, like anything. I mean, she was 17 and moved in with her 20-year-old boyfriend.
that is right.
I have questions about this. How did these people, which the Netflix documentary did not say this, but in others, that house was directly next to his parents. So Dom and her lived directly next to his parents.
Right.
How did these folks afford this house and her designer clothes and her weed habit and her gas and her car? Like, how did they afford this particular lifestyle?
Well, now what I
Dom
heard,
had all the money.
Yeah, that's
how did he avoid?
He was a drug dealer, is what I heard.
Yeah, he had like 5 different things.
Allegedly.
No, straight up, he was a drug dealer.
Yeah, but like the good kind of drugs. Like, is weed not illegal in Ohio?
It is now. It's legal now.
Okay.
But that's several years ago.
Okay,
so,
yeah, because they were a lot of mushrooms.
It's recreational now.
Yeah, a lot of mushrooms that were happening. And I also heard, as we are on the scuttle, that she also was a sort of like a mild sex worker. Like, she sold feet pics, and there were some things, which, you know what, I'm not judging. Like, get your bag, girl.
No, I'm only saying I can see that from what.
But
not a far cry.
Right. So the documentary really painted her as this really toxic girlfriend. They showed those videos of her outside banging on the door. I'm not sure which one.
Was breaking windows. That was nuts. That was a little wild.
I'm mixed up about what I saw, but also, too, she threatened while he was in the car, and he called his mom to, like, run this car into a ditch. That was fairly damning.
While they're in the car is the most interesting part to me, and the one I have most questions about.
Let's talk about it.
Not only from her, but from Damien, I believe, right? He's texting his folks that texting his dad he loves him.
At 3 a.m.
A couple minutes or something right before.
You think that he understood? Because they say...
I only say that because it seems odd, but I don't say it thinking, which means this or which leads me to think this. That is just very confusing to me. I mean, that's just a random 5:30, I love you. And then 2 minutes later, you have ceased to be.
They were not wearing their seatbelts in the back seat. She was wearing hers, but they weren't wearing theirs.
So what I read,
trying to get away?
Well, what I read on the internet, like the thoughts behind that are that the 2 guys in the car were trying to stop her.
Exactly.
And so they had their seatbelts off because they were maybe trying to move towards her and trying to gain control of the car or something. And then, because then they ended up like almost on top of each other.
Yeah.
The steering wheel had been turned.
Yeah.
The gear shift had been messed with.
Yeah.
So the guess is that.
Yeah. She never once hit the brake.
Right.
This is what has really sort of like gnawed at me. She does not seem the suicidal type. Right? She seems very, very happy about, and like in my brain, she is trying to punish Dom, right? But did it not occur to her that she possibly could die or be disfigured or maimed? She got really lucky with her injuries, but like, did that not occur to her?
But she had flipped off, like she has flown off the handle before. And I mean, in a big way, and she had, I think, threatened her own life before, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
But we've definitely seen footage of her just going from like 0 to 90 and attitude wise.
Yeah.
I mean, just really flip out and be somewhat abusive or at least have similar traits. And I mean, there is a lot of substance abuse going on. I know the mushrooms got made a big deal, but I don't think would have anything to do with it. But like, no matter what it is, when you are that old and you've been smoking that much weed, I mean, she is coughing up blood and black mucus, they said.
Yeah.
Really?
She's smoking
Who said that?
Netflix.
Yeah,
Really?
that was part of it because they
Oh, wow.
like several people said they didn't think that she had even been smoking weed that night of the accident,
And
because she had been in she was coughing up black phlegm, and so she was kind of like, "Hey guys, I got to take a night off," kind of thing.
I am definitely someone who is a proponent of marijuana use.
Yeah.
And much like the dad, who was oddly emphatic about that, 2 minutes into this documentary about a crash in which his daughter was driving and 2 other children passed away, like, I don't care if you smoke weed, if she smokes weed, whoever can smoke weed, like, not the main topic here, my man.
Right.
We need to focus on something else, but it is a psychoactive drug.
Mm-hmm.
As safe as I think it is, attention needs to be paid to it. I mean, teenagers should not be smoking all the weed they possibly can all the time.
And no one should be smoking weed and then just hopping in the car and driving around.
Yes.
The same with, I'm going to drink a glass of wine at night, but like, I'm not going to drink, a couple bottles of wine and then go hopping and joyride.
You're not doing a beer bong while you're driving.
Right.
Not
exactly.
to play devil's advocate, but it seems like she was fairly used to driving under the influence of marijuana.
She said she was.
Yeah.
Other
people said she was. Like, they used to do that, as their entertainment was driving around.
I want to talk about the parents a little bit. So much has
Total
been made
enablers
on the internet about him wearing this shirt. He's an art teacher. Yeah, he's an art teacher. And so, as you move through art theory or whatever, the choice to wear this graphic tee. And I watched this reality TV producer saying, listen, they sit you down and say, hey, don't wear anything that has words on it. Don't wear any designers. Like, don't do anything.
Right.
And he obviously emphatically decided that. That seems...
Yeah, his t-shirt says boom.
Yeah, it
he wears
strange.
These
well, he kind of dressed similar to how he does in court. It was just like, man, like I am right now.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you got some khakis and an untucked polo and you're just going to rock with that. And he's on suspension though right now.
Yes.
Okay, but Jeff, is this what you would wear to court?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. If your daughter was on trial for murder?
Jeff's fish tee.
I am wearing a fish tee.
Yeah, I mean, which looks great for our situation, or
I wouldn't go if I had to do
or for
business
90%
at City Hall,
of the situations. But if you were going to court, I'm pretty for
if
your
I have to go
daughter.
to a building where there is a courtroom, even if I'm dropping something off, I don't even know what situation I would be in.
No, don't go to court,
happening,
Jeff. Don't go to court.
I'm gonna at least tuck in. I'm gonna, get a little bit going.
Did this
one wild?
Was this the one that sort of dug into her mother liking a lot of the posts that she made?
Yeah, and she also was getting back to ad folks.
Yeah,
and she is unconscious in the hospital, and 2 other people passed away. Let me get back to this brand real quick.
Yeah,
we can get back to collab another day. We can get back to a collab.
Yeah, I mean, so
there's a lot of delusional behavior.
I've seen a lot of teacher talk on this particular situation, like a high school teacher saying every high school teacher knows a Mackenzie, everyone.
Yes.
And they know as soon as I saw her parents talking about A, B, and C, I understood immediately who this kid was.
That's our generation, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
It could not get out of my head.
That is interesting.
It is.
This is the group of kids that I've been hearing about the last 10 years that are somewhat problematic. I famously don't have kids, so I can say whatever.
That's right.
I want.
The dink over here has got opinions.
Y'all all stink. No, I'm just kidding.
As he says, he's
I have
traveling the world.
From teachers, from people I know, this goes back at least a decade. Well, what's up with the parents? Well, the parents now are our generation. It's people born in late or early to mid 70s on up the next few years.
We might be older than her parents at this point because this was 3 or 4 years
just say
ago.
No, we don't know.
No,
you're fine. Fine, you're right.
I'm not. I don't know
Google
about you.
I won't be Googling it. But what do you make of her mom's statement in court?
Whenever
it's
God.
He's
Is
a
this
new
the
friend.
Yeah, he was a new friend. And I'm like, I don't think that's what you say in court.
He's kind of
he's a new friend, guys. It doesn't matter.
I don't give a shit about this motherfucker. He's new. I don't know him.
I think the judge even was like, I'm sorry, what? What does, is that does that apply? Is that an issue?
I'm up here to talk about my daughter. That just came out wrong. Why don't you I wrote a introduction to this podcast. if I was going to go defend a family member of mine from getting the death penalty,
I don't think I'd just wing it.
Grab me a 3x5, jot something down. I'm not Tom Schwartz going to a business meeting.
I mean, she did seem wildly
She did.
unprepared.
I mean, she was just up there, just ad-libbing stuff. I don't really have a plan here. Let me just say.
They just got done throwing buckets in the back.
Yeah. So in the Mean Girl Murders that's on Hulu, Davion's mom participated. I do not believe that she participated in the Netflix one. She didn't really add a whole lot of new news.
Oh, yeah. We just saw her in court, I think.
Right. She didn't add a whole lot of new news. But to that end, she spoke to the mean girl of it all. And they interviewed some of Kenzie's classmates, and they were like, no, she terrorized us. She made our life miserable. And from an early age, too, from what I've heard. She was like this girl was the kid that teachers were constantly sending notes home, like, hey, just FYI, she's been bullying these kids. Right. Hey, she's been doing this. And her parents never really stepped in and No. Did she have siblings?
Oh,
I don't think
they talked about that.
I don't think she did, because she's got a real only child syndrome.
Is there whoa, hold on.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. No shade to only children.
That was some real shade.
Does a child get to a certain age these days, and again, famously, no children here. But that whole influencer culture, has that also gotten, it's gotten into the parents too, right? Look how she looks in these clothes, and she's she's going to crush on TikTok. Let's just let her do her thing and we'll be set. Does that enter into people's thoughts?
So I have an interest.
Not accusing, I am genuinely curious.
I think that the answer to that is yes.
So my perspective on this whole thing, because and Sundi and I both are parents of teenagers right now. Okay. Right. So, and we have been, Sundi and I are the same age. We have been friends since high school.
That's right. Yeah.
When we were doing a lot of things that we absolutely should not have been doing.
We were different kinds of teenagers.
But so I look back on things, and as much as I absolutely love, adore my parents, Sundi feels the same way about hers. They were that generation of parent was just a little more, for lack of a better word, I feel like self-centered. They were the baby boomers, kind of thing. And
we do have boomer parents.
They kind of were like, well, yeah, we had kids and whatever, but we're kind of doing our own thing too. And so I feel like our generation of parents swung way too far the other way,
well,
and that's where we
man.
That's where we came up with the helicopter parent, because our parents were so checked out and smoking cigarettes and drinking wine at their cocktail parties.
Missing hedges in the gold pack while she's driving me to school with the windows rolled up.
Right, exactly. Them kids will be fine. But
we're speaking in real broad
terms.
Oh,
yes, sorry. So sorry. I went somewhere for a minute.
Sundi's speaking specifically, but I'm speaking broadly. So I feel a lot of our generation of parent went way too far the other direction, became a helicopter parent, but almost these parents are a little helicoptery, but almost whereas Sundi and I talk about how we were so criticized growing up over you should lose 5 pounds. You should not wear that. Why did you do your hair like that? Don't do that kind of thing. These parents kind of became anything you want is
special.
Fine.
Well,
yes, you special individual, unique little baby. Whatever you want to do is fine.
That's what talk about
and it breeds sociopaths.
Well, I think that Kenzie was using Mean Girls aspirationally.
Well, I think it was a couple of years after Mean Girls came out, and everybody's like, "Oh, these girls," because it was such a great adaptation and all that. But then once the movie was out for a while, people are like, well, the most problematic person isn't one of the girls.
It's the mom
who's letting because
I'm a cool mom.
And hilarious. Love you, Amy Poehler. Always.
Oh, God. Always.
But it is that one's the most real. There are mean girls. The cool mom that lets them get away with anything leads to the mean girls, and that's what she is. I don't know. I'm just here in my shorts and Jimmy Buffett t-shirt, Court doing an interview. I don't care what we're doing.
Right.
Whatever.
Well, I say to my children all the time, y'all are not scared enough of me. Like, I was scared of my mom. My mom was 5 foot, flat-footed.
That's frightening.
I could have.
You're not parenting right then, because my children are scared of me.
I mean, listen, I said on their summer house, I wanted to get a medium so my mom could tell me to lose 10 pounds and change my shirt.
You did
from the
that.
Beyond. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was scared.
Somebody said she wants that. She's
I love it. I miss my mom.
I wish Patricia was around to tell me to lose 10 pounds.
From what I've seen, I think maybe that fear doesn't kick in until about 22, 23. I feel like your older child has maybe gotten more fear since being a teenager.
See, I would say,
I
rarely have to really yank the reins in too hard on my kids, because they are a little bit scared of me.
Yeah.
So for the most part, I mean, now, oldest is only 16. We've got a few more years of, rebellion ahead of us, probably.
I told you about some condoms.
I know. Stop. Don't say that. Ew, I know. But I will say, as young children, I kind of put a little bit of the fear in them of no, you're going to definitely listen to what I say, because I need them to know, I will lose my mind on you if you really...
They're not afraid enough of me. I mean, Nolan is. Nolan's definitely afraid of me. But I do, as the pop culture...
Is she?
Yeah, she is. I mean, she knows she couldn't beat me in a street fight. But I do have...
Well, neither could I. So I would not.
I got a pop culture professor, you guys, for a second.
Please.
Okay.
Why does this exist? Netflix did this. This is the third installment, The Crash on Netflix.
This actual documentary?
This is the third installment. There was no new evidence. There was nothing new to contribute. Why does this exist?
Oh, it's simultaneous productions. Stuff's going on. I mean, ABC News wants to go down, make a big segment out of it.
Yeah.
Somebody at Netflix wants to make a big thing out of it. I mean, it has to go on for a couple of years. I think people are just making them at the same time.
Why?
And this is going... It's a very interesting... I mean, no one knows.
I mean, the same reason that we have all these Snapped and true crime documentaries, because we're obsessed with it.
Yes.
And
because nobody knows why she did it.
As a culture, why are we so preoccupied? Netflix greenlit this.
This is a young woman.
And gave her a platform, too. None of the others had her.
This is a young woman with, her whole life ahead of her. She's 17. Yeah. Arguably popular on social media, but maybe not that popular in her own high school. She's got this older boyfriend who has a ton of money independently. Quote. I mean, there are just... Everything you talk about here is an interesting aspect. So it makes for an interesting story that leads in tragedy. And when there's tragedy, people want answers.
Well, there it is too. So it's are we watching this to sort of get, she got what she deserved? Are we watching this as sort of a sub in for the Kardashian effect? I'm interested. No. Why is because right now the internet is just bonkers for this story. And I'm wondering what about this has snagged our cultural conscious?
So many people in the whole world. Can you imagine being 18 again with your whole life ahead of you? What would you do? So, I mean, to look at a person who is 18 and, has a bright future in some areas for sure, that ends up in this scenario. And if it's possible that she chose to do it, then we need to figure out why. That helps us paint something on it.
So, do you think she did it on purpose?
I am...
Crickets.
It's tough to say, though.
I think she 100% did it on purpose. I think that she was mad at that boy. She did not have any foresight.
I 51% think she 100% did it on purpose.
Her frontal lobe is not developed.
I would completely agree with that.
Right.
Yeah.
And she was mad at that boy. They probably had a fight. He was threatening to break up with her. Davion, R.I.P., I'm so sorry this happened to you.
Seems very sweet.
I think he was just collateral damage.
Exactly.
I think it was all about the boyfriend.
She did not have an awareness of how it was going to hurt her. She didn't give a shit. She was mad at him. She was like, fuck you. I'm about to show you what I can do. And
I mean, this just goes back to, teenagers, really up until mid-20s. I mean, your brain is just not fully developed.
I think
and so
she fully did it on purpose.
I honestly, I can see that she may have done it on purpose without fully clocking, what that meant for her in the situation.
She didn't know.
Connecting those dots of actually the realization of I could potentially be
she got lucky as
killed,
hell,
maimed, paralyzed.
She broke a rib, broke a leg.
Whatever.
She got lucky as hell.
Yeah, I mean, she broke a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like in surgery. I mean, they life-flighted her. Like
pretty bad.
She was in a goddamn concert though, like 2 months later.
Yes.
Like she was not on life support. Like she looked out in a way that I don't think that she could have foreseen.
I don't think her two buddies that they were interviewing too.
Oh
I don't
my
think
God.
that really helped much either. I mean,
I think they were trying to help.
I think they were too. I'm just saying, through no fault of their own. I don't think they were. Also, what about the little medical condition that all of a sudden came out? And
So, POTS. POTS is a real thing. I had an old girlfriend. I had an old girlfriend who had POTS, but there's no medical record. You didn't get a doctor up there. Get her pediatrician up there.
Hail Mary.
Yeah, it was pitiful.
I mean, look, the parent wants to come up with something last minute. I'm all for it. I'm not calling her out for that. Like, you want to come up with something? Yes. Like, when did you come up with this in the parking lot? Like,
whoever conceived of the POTS diagnosis also wrote her mom's sentencing speech.
You've been like that for 120 days, and that is what you came up with.
So,
yeah, agreed. It's definitely a real thing, but like we should have had some sort of documentation before now.
So in the true crime of it all, this is another question that I have. Is she like the third Menendez brother, in which we are having to like relitigate it? We are seeing her crime through a lens of a different lens.
Not.
No, different. You don't think so? Because we're re-examining the Menendez. We're thinking about like their situation. Is she not the third Menendez brother?
The biggest difference, because they're both very young. They both have a bright future ahead of. They both. Well, one of them has very much more well-to-do
parents.
Weren't the
Menendez weren't they abused?
The biggest difference for me would be the years
like
of
systematic
sexual
abuse.
And psychological abuse.
So they deserve a re-examination. Mackenzie does not.
Yeah, and like their sentence, like a re-sentencing and parole stuff comes up for them every now and then. So like it gets them in the actual news cycle because the state of California, decides every few years if they're going to stay in jail or not. No, I mean, I do see raising the question, but I don't see her as that.
And definitely not like giving a pass to the Menendez brothers,
No. And I don't know how much.
It just makes it a little.
That's a whole other podcast.
That is.
The context.
But
I'm just saying like the context of that makes it more. It makes them slightly more sympathetic and understandable than like, I mean, because we all lived through that back in the 90s.
We don't find Mackenzie sympathetic.
Remember? I mean, when that came out,
they're at a Knicks game 2 days later. She's at a concert.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of parallels.
Point.
Aside from the abuse factor, aside from that, like there are a lot of parallels about her. She was like very, very preoccupied with wealth and fame, and But the way our culture sometimes wants to relitigate something, and I'm wondering if this Netflix thing is our culture's way of kind of. I don't know, either making her a villain or making her absolved. I can't really tell.
I always think of it's just human behavior and what our brains are actually capable of is, because like the reason a lot of time, to me, a serial killer is a very interesting thing to look into is because that's the farthest thing in the world one of us is going to do.
Right.
Yeah.
To just wake up, and go look for someone in a neighborhood, stalk someone, bring them back to your, whatever methodical thing you have to go. Like, boy, is that nowhere close. And I don't mean like someone upsets them and they kill, like I'm not saying great.
Right.
Also,
that's a true pathology. And it's interesting to know
like
what caused them to be that type of person that gives zero value towards life. And that can think forward and plan that sort of thing out. I mean, it is, that's human nature. I mean, to be fascinated by
blame pathology, but I think we also have to blame the parents a little bit, like where you're special and you're wonderful. And
that's what I'm saying. They were enablers in a lot of things.
For sure.
And not like, not calling her out and giving proper discipline and just limits.
Letting her live with her boyfriend at 17.
Right.
Patricia wouldn't have. Right. I hate to cut us off, but I do have some hot goss from stuff this week that we talked about.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
No freaking Top Chef hot goss. But I do have some Vanderpump.
No goss. Not even hot. Not even lukewarm goss.
If you have any hot Top Chef goss, send it to me. Lala.
Jeff at PinotPod.com.
Lala from we see her in our vintage right now. She's in a beef right now with a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills husband.
Oh.
She claims that he sent her a DM saying, hey, I want to go out with you because him and his wife are divorced. And
Wait, which husband?
Mauricio.
Oh, of course
Right.
it's Mauricio. Of course it is.
But he's like, absolutely not. She's fucking crazy. This bitch posted the screenshot of
Hell
the DM.
yes. Keep the receipts.
So,
I like that.
Lala be staying.
Wait, the husband was full of shit?
Yes.
Shocking.
I'm just saying, I cannot wait for us to talk about the Valley. I feel like you're going to be shocked and scandalized and just sad about the human race.
2029.
Yeah, here we go. Also, I have a little bit of about the In the City. Do you remember how Lindsay said that Danielle gave Carl a hand job a week after they broke up?
In an Uber. Yes, of course I remember this.
Danielle denies the fuck out of that. She says that never happened. And Lindsay, the mother Hubbard, she's like, it absolutely did. Doubled down on it. Talked to more reporters about it and said, listen, I've got receipts, screenshots. Says, I dare you to dispute it. She is out here.
Screenshots of what?
I don't know. Maybe text messages that they exchanged.
Hey, Linz, I'm in the back of an Uber getting a hand job. What?
Or,
I mean,
I don't know, or
what screenshots?
Between Danielle and another person, and that person took a screenshot and sent it to Lindsay. Like, listen, don't underestimate. She's gonna get it done.
I mean,
so it's up in the air.
I fully believe it happened, but I would love to see some receipts about this.
I need Carl to weigh in. Carl, if you're listening, did you get a hand job in an Uber a week after you and Lindsay broke up?
From Danielle?
Don't do it. Don't tell me if you did.
Super sexy though.
Yeah,
Uber handy.
Everybody loves a hand job.
Hand whammies in an Uber. It's not.
Everybody loves a hand job too. It's so lazy.
Nobody loves that.
Nobody likes a hand
job. Taking two things I like and you just.
I know.
It's like having a pizza and a hot tub.
Also, lastly, our Kentucky muffin.
Oh no.
Yeah. So as her and Jax move through the divorce process, there's been a lot of tax IRS stuff. I know you would never guess. No. Okay. I know you would never guess this, but Jax didn't want to pay taxes.
Well, that's shocking.
Sure.
Yeah. And so she was saddled with like a $500,000 tax bill. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And so she's like out here having to hawk her Jenny Craig shit or whatever the fuck she's doing.
Amazon Kentucky Derby
there you go.
Right now.
There you go. But it's absolved. She's off the hook. They did not make her pay that $500,000. So now she has more money to get her.
The IRS just like absolved her of $500,000 in taxes.
She disputed it.
What do I have to do to get that sort of like treatment?
Was the head of the IRS and Brittany in an Uber anytime recently? I must know. Lindsay, where you at on that one?
Brittany gave the IRS a hand job, and they were like, you know what? We're square. We're square.
Also, thank you, Brittany. Something in your accent lately really stuck in my ear. And so yesterday, I spent some of my workday listening to the Judds Essentials collection.
Oh, my God.
And it was a wonderful revisit. If y'all haven't checked out the Judds.
Winona and Naomi are like the greatest. I love them.
Why Not Me has just been in my
so good.
for a couple days in a row. And I loved it. So thank you.
She's bold.
She is.
She's bold.
Any more, Biz?
That's it. That is all the hot goss I got.
We'll be back for Top Chef on Monday.
Yes, it is.
We'll be down to the final 4 after that. Mm-hmm. We're always around for our vintage VPR.
Yeah.
Your new stuff.
And we've got Summer House Reunion.
Oh, my God.
Part 1.
Jesus help.
Of 3 next week, y'all. 1 of 3.
Jesus help me.
In the reunion.
Is hot.
Are you going to be doing 2 reunions at once? You'll be doing season 4 Vanderpump reunion.
Yes.
And we've got episode 2 of In the City.
Y'all know I love it. Oh. You know that's what I want.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I needed. It's in my veins. Like
school's out for summer.
I mean, exactly. They're hugging each other on Top Chef, and my other shows are just duking it out, scratching each other's eyes out. So yes, give it. It's a nice balance.
Enjoy the weeks you have with Top Chef, though.
It's all about balance.
I'm gonna have to get you to go back and start watching.
What's your prediction? Who do you think's gonna win?
Top Chef?
Yeah.
Rhoda's my number 1.
Rhoda's mine too. Rhoda.
Yeah.
I support that. I support that. She's been awesome all season.
Huh?
I thought Lawrence was your.
Well, yes, in my ranking, but in terms of who's going to win, Rhoda. Those 2 things that feel different to me.
Okay.
Those 2 things feel different to me.
Are they?
Yeah, for sure. I'll explain later.
All right.
Anyway.
Who will win? Who should win?
Yeah. No, both of those are Rhoda. She should win and will win.
Then
anyway.
Is Lawrence number 1 in
He's been doing really well. See,
George, play us out.
Okay, here you go. Anyway, we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.